Good evening and welcome to Rajya Sabha TV. My name is Aditi Nagpal Girotra and you're watching News Tonight, where we bring you fresh updates from India and around the world. Prime Minister Narendra Modi laid the foundation stone for a grand Ram temple at the Ram Janmabhoomi in Ayodhya on Wednesday. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the guest list had to be restricted to 175 people, including Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
Decked in flowers and resounding with sacred chants, Ayodhya city became witness to a historic moment on Wednesday. Prime Minister Narendra Modi laid the foundation stone at the Ram Janmabhoomi, marking the start of the construction of the Ram temple at the site. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, Governor Anandiben Patel, RSS Chief Mohan Bhagwat were among the guests present at the ceremony. Dressed in a yellow dhoti and golden yellow kurta, Prime Minister Modi arrived in Ayodhya in a helicopter from Lucknow at 11:30 a.m. He was received by Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath among others. Ahead of the Bhumi Pujan, the Prime Minister visited the famous Hanuman Gadhi temple and offered prayers. Temple priest Mahant Ramesh Das gifted him a crown, a stole embossed with the name of Lord Ram and a headgear. From Hanuman Gadhi, the Prime Minister went to the Sri Ram Janmabhoomi, where he performed prayers at the Bhagwan Sri Ram Lala Virajman. He also planted a Parijat sapling in the temple premises. At 12:30 p.m., the Prime Minister performed the Bhumi Pujan ritual in the presence of special invitees and seers from across the country, along with UP Governor, Chief Minister and the RSS Chief. During the ceremony, prayers were offered to 9 Shilas with Lord Ram inscribed on it. At 12:44 p.m., Prime Minister Modi laid a silver brick as the foundation stone of the temple, marking the beginning of the grand Ram temple construction. The Ram Janmabhoomi resonated with slogans of Jai Shri Ram as the ceremony concluded.
Amid chants of Jai Shri Ram, Bharat Mata Ki Jai and Har Har Mahadev, Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed the gathering after performing the Bhumi Pujan ceremony at the Ram Janmabhoomi.
Siyavar Ramachandra ki, Siyavar Ramachandra ki, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram.
Beginning his speech with Jai Shri Ram, Prime Minister Modi called the Bhumi Pujan a historic moment. He said a temple will be built for Ram Lalla, who has been living in tents for years. He said the centuries-long wait has ended and India is creating a golden chapter in Ayodhya.
आज पूरा भारत राममय है. पूरा देश रोमांचित है. हर मन दीपमय है. आज पूरा भारत भावुक है. सदियों का इंतजार आज समाप्त हो रहा है.
Prime Minister Modi said the Ram temple will be a modern symbol of India's traditions, devotion and national sentiment. He added that the temple symbolizes the power of the collective resolve of the people.
ये मंदिर आने वाली पीढ़ियों को आस्था, श्रद्धा और संकल्प की प्रेरणा देता रहेगा. इस मंदिर के बनने के बाद अयोध्या की सिर्फ भव्यता ही नहीं बढ़ेगी, इस क्षेत्र का पूरा अर्थतंत्र भी बदल जाएगा.
Prime Minister Modi said Lord Ram's ideologies and principles have been guiding India for centuries. He said that Mahatma Gandhi's vision of Ram Rajya was based on Lord Ram's mantras.
स्वयं प्रभु श्री राम ने कहा है, देश काल अवसर अनुहारी, बोले वचन विनित विचारी। अर्थात राम समय, स्थान और परिस्थितियों के हिसाब से बोलते हैं, सोचते हैं, करते भी हैं। राम हमें समय के साथ बढ़ना सिखाते हैं, समय के साथ चलना सिखाते हैं। राम परिवर्तन के पक्षगर है, राम आधुनिकता के पक्षगर है।
In his speech, Prime Minister Modi reiterated the importance of social distancing. He said the ceremony was held amid many limitations due to the pandemic, just like Lord Ram always adhered to his maryada. Prime Minister Modi also unveiled a plaque and a commemorative postal stamp on the occasion. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, RSS Chief Mohan Bhagwat and Ram Temple Trust President Mahant Nritya Gopal Das also addressed the gathering at Ram Janmabhoomi. UP Chief Minister said that people have struggled for 500 years for the construction of Ram Temple in Ayodhya. RSS Chief said that today is a new beginning of a new India.
भारत के लोकतांत्रिक मूल्यों, भारत की न्यायपालिका और भारत की कार्यपालिका की ताकत शांतिपूर्ण ढंग से, लोकतांत्रिक पद्धति से और संविधान सम्मत तरीके से समस्याओं का समाधान कैसे हो सकता है। आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में भारत ने दुनिया की सभी ताकतों को इस बात का एहसास कराया है और यह दिन हम सबको, पूरे भारतवासियों को इस शुभ घड़ी का एहसास कराने के लिए, क्योंकि इस घड़ी की प्रतीक्षा में हम सब की कई पीढ़ियां चली गई।
सिया राम मैं सब जग जानी, सारे जगत में अपने को और अपने में सारे जगत को देखने की भारत की दृष्टि, जिसके कारण उसके प्रत्येक व्यक्ति का व्यवहार आज भी विश्व में सबसे अधिक सज्जनता का व्यवहार होता है और उस देश का सामूहिक व्यवहार सबके साथ वसुधैव कुटुंबकम का होता है।
मंदिर का निर्माण कार्य का शुभारंभ हो गया है। निश्चित ही आप समझ, देवता और भव्यता के साथ शीघ्र ही मंदिर का निर्माण होगा। समस्त भक्तों की कामनाओं की पूर्ति होगी। मंदिर का निर्माण समय पर प्रारंभ हो गया है। अब भारतीय जनता साधु संत महात्माओं की इच्छा की पूर्ति के लिए दिव्यता भव्यता के साथ मंदिर का निर्माण प्रारंभ हो जाना चाहिए।
On the auspicious occasion of the Bhumi Pujan for the construction of the Ram Temple for Lord Rama at his birthplace Ayodhya, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu, along with his wife Usha Naidu, read the Ramayana with his personal staff at his official residence.
In a series of tweets, Vice President Naidu described the construction of the Ram Temple as a re-coronation of the highest human values of truth, morality and ideals that the Maryada Purushottam epitomized in his life. Naidu said, as the king of Ayodhya, Lord Ram led an exemplary life worth of emulation by everyone. He added that Lord Ram's conduct and values constitute the core of the consciousness of India, cutting across all kinds of divisions and barriers and are relevant for the present.
Leaders across party lines expressed their happiness on the occasion of Ram Mandir Bhumi Pujan. President Kovind extended his greetings on laying the foundation of Ram Temple in Ayodhya.
The President said that the temple was being built in tune with law and defines India's spirit of social harmony and people's zeal. It will be a testimony to ideals of Ram Rajya and a symbol of modern India. The Vice President described the construction of the temple as a re-coronation of the highest human values of truth, morality and ideals. M. Venkaiah Naidu said that Lord Ram's conduct and values make the core of the consciousness of India. His life and values cut across all kinds of divisions and barriers and are relevant even today. Union Home Minister Amit Shah, who is under treatment for COVID-19, took to Twitter to hail the Bhumi Pujan ceremony and described it as a historic day. He said the day marks a golden chapter of Indian culture and has started a new era. Senior BJP leader Lal Krishna Advani said that it was a long-awaited dream and he felt humbled with the success of it all. He also said that it was a historical and memorial day for all Indians.
Take a long time to fruition, but when they are finally realized, the wait becomes very worthwhile. One such dream, close to my heart, is now getting fulfilled. It is indeed a historical and emotional day, not only for me, but for all Indians.
The entire town of Ayodhya was decked up for the historic ceremony on Wednesday. From blowing of conch shells and ringing of bells to ceaseless chants of Jai Shri Ram and Siyavar Ramchandra Ki Jai, streets of the temple town got immersed in a religious fervour.
From blowing of conch shells and ringing of bells to ceaseless chants of Jai Shri Ram and Siyavar Ramchandra Ki Jai, streets of the temple town got immersed in a religious fervour. Ahead of the foundation stone laying ceremony, Ayodhya was illuminated with lakhs of earthen lamps. As the sun set in the backdrop of the mighty Saryu, diyas lined the streets of the town, spread in a radius of 5 kilometers. People from different walks of life celebrated the beginning of the construction of the Ram temple.
Even as the groundbreaking ceremony got underway in Ayodhya, special pujas were conducted at various mutts and temples across India. The event set off festive celebrations across the country and abroad.
In national capital Delhi, Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan distributed sweets to his staff. East Delhi Lok Sabha MP Gautam Gambhir watched the live telecast of the foundation laying ceremony of Ram Temple in Ayodhya with other BJP leaders. BJP MP Meenakshi Lekhi flagged off a bike rally after the groundbreaking ceremony. In adjoining Ghaziabad, people sang Ram Bhajans to celebrate the foundation stone laying ceremony of Ram Mandir. In Maharashtra, Union Minister Nitin Gadkari recited Ram Raksha and worshipped Lord Ram with his family at Nagpur during the foundation stone laying ceremony. Former Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis took part in singing devotional songs at the BJP office in Mumbai. The Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh office in Nagpur was decked in Rangoli decorations. Rangoli depicting the Ram temple was seen at the BJP office in Gandhinagar in Gujarat. Former Lok Sabha Speaker Sumitra Mahajan watched the live telecast of the Bhumi Pujan of Ram temple and offered prayers at the BJP office in Indore, Madhya Pradesh. In Tamil Nadu, BJP members and workers performed special prayers at the party office in Kamalalayam. In Karnataka, Sri Ram Sena President Pramod Mutalik celebrated in Dharwad while Sri Ram Sena workers performed puja. Special prayers were also offered to Lord Ram at the Jagannath Bhavan in Bengaluru's BJP office. BJP supporters and Lord Ram devotees celebrated the day in Kolkata, West Bengal. The Bharat Raksha Manch held Shobha Yatra and offered prayers at the Bindu Sagar temple to celebrate the day. Religious fervour was reflected across even continents as members of the Indian community in the United States gathered in groups outside Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. to celebrate the day. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
India added 50,000 new COVID-19 cases on Tuesday, taking total infections to over 19 lakh. It was the 7th day in a row that cases had gone up by over 50,000 cases. However, India recorded the highest ever single-day recoveries of 51,706 on Tuesday. The recovery rate also touched a record high of 67.19%.
India's COVID-19 tally crossed 19,08,000 with 52,779 new cases on Tuesday. With 857 deaths due to the infection in the past 24 hours, the death toll has reached 39,795. Recoveries at 12,82,000 are more than twice the active COVID-19 cases. Active cases have fallen to 5,86,000. 51,706 patients were cured of COVID-19 in the last 24 hours, making it the highest in a day, taking the recovery rate to 67.19%. Recoveries are outstripping active cases at much faster rate. On June 10th, recoveries were 1,573 patients more than active cases. This gap is now over 6,44,000. Case fatality rate has further dropped to 2.09%. India tested more than 6 lakh COVID-19 samples for the second day in a row on Tuesday. Total tests have crossed 2 crore 14 lakh, while tests per billion are 15,568. Tamil Nadu, Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra and Andhra Pradesh have the highest number of tests of over 20 lakh samples. Arunachal Pradesh, Delhi, Haryana, Jammu and Kashmir, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Odisha, Punjab, Tamil Nadu and Uttarakhand have seen a downward trend in active cases in the last 24 hours. All states, with the exception of Lakshadweep, reported COVID-19 cases. The Union Territory has not reported a single case until now. Only 3 states, Meghalaya, Sikkim and Andaman and Nicobar Islands, have less than 1,000 cases. Infections, however, are spreading at a fast pace in other smaller states. Goa has more than 7,000 infections, while Tripura has over 5,500 cases and Manipur more than 3,000. Nagaland and Puducherry have over 2,500 and 4,000 cases respectively, while Daman and Diu has 1,300 cases. The largest daily new cases are still being reported from bigger states. Uttar Pradesh is reporting an average increase of 3,700 cases daily. At 4.5%, infection is spreading faster in UP against an all-India growth of 3.1%. Uttar Pradesh is the 6th state to have over 1 lakh infections. However, UP has maintained an impressive test positivity rate of below 4%. UP's death rate is 1.8% below the all-India rate. The 5 most affected states are Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka and Delhi. While active cases are stabilizing in Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu and Delhi, Andhra Pradesh is among the fastest growing states. Active cases are also rising in Karnataka, Bihar, Kerala, West Bengal and Uttar Pradesh since last month. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Global COVID-19 infections have crossed 18.7 million with more than 7 lakh deaths.
The pandemic has disrupted lives across the world, including that of students. Underscoring the need for getting global education back on track, United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has warned that the world is facing generational catastrophe on education due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
The COVID-19 pandemic has led to the largest disruption of education ever. In mid-July, schools were closed in more than 160 countries, affecting over 1 billion students. At least 40 million children worldwide have missed out on education in their critical preschool year. Once local transmission of COVID-19 is under control, getting students back into schools and learning institutions as safely as possible must be a top priority.
US President Donald Trump is also urging schools to reopen in the fall. However, some teachers and parents are raising concerns over resumption amid surging infections in the country. Till Wednesday, the United States had over 4.9 million cases with more than 160,000 fatalities. On Tuesday, Japan reported over 1,200 new cases, including 309 from Tokyo. It has now over 41,000 cases. Australia's Victoria state is closing most businesses from Wednesday, following a second wave of infection. The state reported 725 new COVID-19 cases with 15 deaths on the day. Countries worldwide are racing to develop vaccines against the coronavirus disease. The World Health Organization has cautioned Russia against rushing for a coronavirus vaccine and to follow safety protocols. Production of the vaccine developed by Gamaleya Center is expected to begin next month, while a mass vaccination is scheduled for October. Novavax COVID-19 vaccine has been found to be safe and produce antibodies in small studies. Johnson & Johnson has begun human trials for its potential COVID-19 vaccine in the United States and Belgium. Indian Council of Medical Research has said that 3 vaccine candidates from India are also progressing well. Zydus Cadilla's potential vaccine has been found safe in early trials. Meanwhile, Serum Institute is starting phase 2 and 3 trials of the Oxford vaccine across 17 sites in India within a week. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Wednesday marks the completion of 1 year of the abrogation of Article 370 that gave special status to Jammu and Kashmir. On August 5, 2019, the Modi government revoked this discriminatory legislation. In the last 1 year, the centre has rolled out a number of development projects and welfare schemes for Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. Let's take a look.
Exactly a year ago, the Narendra Modi government brought 2 resolutions related to Jammu and Kashmir. One, it revoked the special status granted to Jammu and Kashmir under Article 370, and second, it bifurcated J&K into 2 union territories, Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh. When the provisions of Article 370 were suspended, Indian Constitution and Parliament extended their jurisdiction in the state, as it is for the rest of the country. As part of this abrogation, many central laws were extended to both union territories. Of this, the major ones include the Right to Information Act 2005 and the Representation of Peoples Act 1951. 170 central laws were made applicable that include the right to protect SC/STs, forest dwellers, juveniles, and the aged. Discriminatory state laws were either repealed or modified, including the Transfer of Property Act. The domicile law was implemented to protect people's interests, and certificates were issued for eligible people to ensure employment in government jobs. Besides this, the focus of the government has been on development of both union territories, especially in the health sector, ease of governance, and democratic decentralization. The J&K administration adopted the concept of Naya Kashmir, ensured social sector development, economic revival, implementation of Swachh Bharat Mission, and skill development and employment. Under the Swachh Bharat Mission, Jammu and Kashmir achieved the target of 100% open defecation free. The J&K administration has also claimed 100% achievement in several schemes, including the PM Saubhagya and PM Ujjwala Yojana. The unique Back to Village initiative is among 36 major people's programs, which the J&K administration says it has achieved in 1 year. In the education sector, the Jammu and Kashmir administration added 50 new degree colleges, offering 25,000 seats, the largest such allocation in 70 years, besides sanctioning or operationalizing 7 medical colleges. The development work has led to a drastic dip in protests and stone pelting incidents in Kashmir. Apart from this, terrorist activities have also come down in Kashmir. During January to May alone this year, 78 terrorists were killed, whereas last year this number was 101. A host of development projects have also been initiated in the Union Territory of Ladakh. To mark the day, BJP leaders in Srinagar hoisted tricolour at the party headquarters. Besides Srinagar, celebrations were also held by BJP members at Anantnag, Ganderbal and Kupwara. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has expressed shock over the massive explosion in Beirut city that claimed the lives of at least 100 people and injured more than 4,000.
Taking to Twitter, the Prime Minister said India's thoughts and prayers are with the bereaved families and the injured. The Prime Minister's office said in a tweet, quoting Prime Minister Modi, that he was shocked and saddened by the large explosion in Beirut city, leading to loss of lives and property. Rescue workers in Lebanon are searching for those missing after a huge explosion devastated the port area of the capital Beirut on Tuesday. The whole city was shaken by the explosion and a mushroom cloud could be seen spreading over the port area. President Michel Aoun said the blast was caused by 2,750 tons of ammonium nitrate stored unsafely in a warehouse. Ammonium nitrate is used as a fertilizer in agriculture and also as an explosive. Lebanese Prime Minister Hassan Diab appealed to all countries and friends of Lebanon to extend help to the country. He also declared a national day of mourning for the victims of the explosion and promised accountability. Meanwhile, the Indian embassy in Beirut has issued an advisory to Indian nationals living in the country, requesting calm and said any Indian national in need of help may contact its helpline.
With this, it's a wrap on this edition of News Tonight. Thank you so much for joining us.